Sweet liberty and justice for all, everybody. Sony and Helldivers has gone through a wild wave of chaos last couple weeks, and we're here to talk about it and what that means for the future of Sony, future of Helldivers, and the future of video games. So what happened? You guys are probably aware of this, but if you aren't, here's a little summary. Basically, when the game launched for Helldivers, supposedly they were supposed to put on a PSN requirement to log in to connect a PSN account to the game, whether you were on PC or on PlayStation. For whatever reason, they didn't put it in because they had some issues with like servers or something like that. So they waited. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, by the way, now everybody is going to be required on May 6th to have to sign in with a PSN account. Not a paid account, just a free PlayStation Network account.
What was it for? Safety.
Yeah, protect players from griefing, quote unquote, as well as other benefits, they say. But the problem with this is there's many countries that don't have PlayStation Network support set up.
Over 100.
Over 100. 177. Yes. So there's only 69 countries that PlayStation Network currently serves. So
why sell the game in those countries if you were planning on having PSN?
Exactly.
Fucking weird.
So obviously the community, especially PC players, backlashed extensively and started downvoting the game because not only did they have the PlayStation requirement come out, but then a couple days later they pulled the game for sale in those 177 countries and territories that don't have PSN. In which point the Arrowhead CEO and Arrowhead as a whole was trying to like save face and figure this all out because they were kind of like had their hands tied behind their back kind of deal. And he was like, we don't have the final say. This is what's happening. We're trying to fix it. We're trying to make it better, whatever. But Sony like shut things down. So everybody gave a bunch of freaking negative reviews and it like became a meme. And then it's now going to become a cape apparently in the game because of how bad the reviews were and everything.
Well, Helldivers went from overwhelmingly positive on Steam to mixed and overwhelmingly negative.
Yep.
In like a few days.
100%. Yeah. It was crazy. So after all the backlash, people have said that democracy has won, and we've been training for this every day since the game came out.
Yes.
To fight democracy, and this is what happened. And then Sony backed down on the PlayStation account requirement and said, we heard you, we're listening, we're not going to do that anymore. But the games are still unavailable in those 177 countries.
Yep.
As of this recording.
Unavailable to buy. If you already purchased the game, you still have it.
Correct. Yep. So now with cleanup and everything, positive reviews are coming back in. Over 70,000 positive reviews are landing on Steam, and it's starting to shift towards a positive sense. But ultimately, this was a shit show. This probably shouldn't have happened. How do you guys feel this is going to impact like the future? Like, do you think this is the end of this conversation and we're not going to see this again? Do you think it's going to bounce back in the future? Like we're going to have to do PSN again? Will these countries be opened up again? Like, what are y'all's kind of thoughts about what's next or what could be next for this this scenario?
It's not over.
Yeah.
It's going to come back up. Maybe it's over for Helldivers 2. Maybe. I just don't think it's over. I think it's going to come back up. Something's going to happen. With corporations like this, they don't take losing very well, so they're going to come back with a vengeance in some form or fashion to make this happen because they want people to sign up. I get the point of them wanting people to sign up for PlayStation Network. It's a free account. Yeah, it's not a big deal, but you're giving over your data to them, and some of it is probably not that much data, but it's enough data that they can send you emails and try to get you to buy games.
Potential to sell that data to other people, and
that too,
potentially to like use it.
On the like not so crazy side is like we're going to send marketing stuff to you now, and the other side is we're going to sell your data. And they were like, oh, we're doing this to help grief players or whatever, but at the same time, how many times has Sony had their data hacked? Twice.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying, which I never thought about, but that's a very valid point. It's like, I don't want to create an account with you because I don't trust your security of information.
Yes.
To be honest, I'm playing on a PlayStation, so I really have zero room to talk. But after playing on PC for so long and playing other games that require some kind of like sign up for, like if I play any Xbox game, I have to sign up for Xbox. I have to sign up for this. I have to sign up for that. Blizzard, I have to sign up an account. So at first, I thought it wasn't a big deal. I thought people were overreacting to it. But whenever it came to the realization that those 177 countries weren't allowed to have PSN, I was just like, well, that's fucking...
Why would you cut all those people out?
Yeah, cut all those people out. That's the part I was like extremely confused about. So I get the uproar for those people and understand it. But you also, I feel like you have to also understand all these other games you guys are playing and not realizing you are signing up for an account. I mean, I don't know. I'm upset for those 177 countries. That's my biggest upset about this whole thing. That I don't believe Sony really was planning on putting this into this game at all.
And it blew up.
And it blew up, and they're like, "Hey, we need to have PSN accounts for this now because it is blowing up everywhere."
Yeah.
And I felt like it was a last minute decision for them to come out and say, "Hey, yeah, we were planning on doing it the whole time." Well, what about those other 177 countries, especially Japan?
Yeah.
You know, like what? What are you thinking?
For me, they're just leaving money on the table.
Oh yeah.
But like we were talking about, like we looked up how much do people make for selling our data? Because it's happened with many companies. Apparently, all of the, I don't know if you knew this, but all of the major phone companies sold everyone's location data.
Fuck yeah, dude, I love it. I love
me
Big
too.
Brother.
Like they didn't even get a slap on the wrist from the government for doing that.
Nope.
Anyway, so they're making a lot of money. So the money that they make from the people who are involved with giving up this data with the PlayStation Network, like they're making way more than they would just having all these other countries have people buy this game.
Yeah.
And that's where we are in literally the state of the world. Like it's all about data. Like I don't know if this is true, but I feel like, when you go, the new iPhones, they're like, oh yeah, come trade in your old iPhone and we'll give you like $800 to get the new one. And I'm like, man, you're giving me $800 for like a 5-year-old phone? That's a little crazy. You know what? I bet they take all the data off of that.
No, they don't.
They don't?
No. It's
why would they?
Because they can recycle every aspect
every
of that
little
phone.
piece of that phone.
It's value.
It's the
They're no
hardware.
longer.
So they're selling that phone?
They're no longer extracting those minerals anymore. They're just recycling the phone over and over with each new phone. Because it's like every little piece of structure in there, they like break
lot
it all
cheaper.
down. Yeah, it's a lot cheaper and stuff like that.
They save a lot of money.
So like
So is T-Mobile selling the phone back to Apple? or
basically,
something? Okay.
yeah. They're all sending it to the same conglomerate in there, and they're
I'm
recycling
like, man,
that
you're
stuff
giving me a
down.
lot of money for like a piece of shit tech
No.
at this point.
Yeah, no, it's important to like.
Well, I mean, they get you on their plan, and then you're stuck with them. Now
you're
they have your
already-
data.
Yeah, that data's already out there.
They do have that though, yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it is interesting with like the PlayStation Network thing. I mean, it's obvious that like they want to just get more information to be able to have. I mean, the more data you have, the better. I mean, it's like working at a company that my livelihood thrives off of data of people. Like I have
the
to.
problem.
I am the problem. Like I am literally. It's like I know when you come to my website. I know how you got there. I know what you did when you went there. I probably know generally where you were when you did it. Like all that stuff I can see with no problem. And you can create like profiles of all these different people and stuff like that. And it's like we use it to make money and serve our clients better, And you hope the clients you're serving are good people, but you never. I mean, that's
Well, I think part of it is
the world we live in.
Not to go too far down this rabbit hole, but I think part of it is like their laws are not in place. People don't really care or know about the data issue, and so there's not a lot of people fighting it, and there's not a lot of political people standing up for stuff like this. And this is this whole like technology revolution in the past decade to two, probably more, has just like had snowballed so fast. Like no one was ready for this.
Because it's not tangible to people. It's not.
Right.
It's not physically something they can see that's being taken.
Yeah.
And that's the key thing. I mean, I am very at fault at that, but I don't. To an extent, I don't care.
Yeah.
But I
You
don't.
just-
I don't come to a realization of how much they influence me, especially after going to South by talking about roadblocks and all that jazz, on how they're influence kids by marketing stuff like that. And if they get my data, then they can just send me shit and market it. But Jokes on them. I never check my email, so
I know, right?
No wonder you haven't responded to me about getting that money back.
wait, what?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you owe me like
There you go.
$20,000.
Holy shit! Seriously?
I just made that up. Yeah. Yeah, this my concern about this right now is there's does this Sony has done so many good things up to this point. Like we've been like hyping them up. It's like we're going to talk about Xbox in a little bit with all the trouble that they've gone through and stuff like that. They've been putting out great games. Helldivers was an awesome launch. It was amazing. Whatever. This kind of breaks a lot of trust. I feel like, it's like, okay, they're going to pull this veil. I mean, they like literally, it's amazing how quickly you can just like turn a switch on on a feeling towards somebody. It's like all this good grace they've been building for so long and they just like fuck it all up in 3 days. Yeah. It's crazy.
Well, it's all about money. I mean, that's really what it's all about. And so when this stuff happens, it's like, well, we're trying to increase our profits here and there, and this is part of it. Honestly,
You know what this also tells me is that Helldivers 2 is not going to Xbox at all.
oh no,
Well, no, I don't think it was ever planning on doing that. Yeah.
Oh man.
they need to create their own Helldivers at this point.
Yeah.
With the way that Xbox is going, that's not going to happen.
But this wouldn't have been a conversation before. The only reason it's conversation is because Sony made the business decision to start putting their games on PC.
Yes.
And now like this is the first multiplayer game that they've had. I mean, I'm sure they're not going to do it for God of War because it's really going to create a bunch of backlash. But something like this, it's like, hey, why not? Let's give you a PlayStation account. They have, and I kind of get some of the technical components to it. I'm sure there are some things that they have built into the PlayStation Network to kind of validate. It's kind of like, getting a verified profile on like, except for Twitter, because now you just pay for a verified check mark. But, there's getting a verified something is kind of like to legitimize yourself of like, oh, hey, this is me, which can help for security and privacy, or like mainly for security stuff. But it's just the way in which they went about it was so wrong. Like, should not have happened this way. They should have either bring it out when the game launched and cut out those countries at the beginning, or
exactly.
don't do it at all.
Yeah.
And do it for the next Helldivers or the next multiplayer game you bring out here, because it's too little. It's too late.
I really thought they didn't
that.
think this game was going to be that successful.
Yeah.
And they were just like, hey, it's being super successful. We need to get people on PSN.
Yeah, capitalize on it. Yep. It's if it was more of like, hey, you need this because there's like cross save capabilities from PlayStation to PC.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah. I think for me, I would have been like, oh, okay, cool, because I would definitely want that if I can play on my. Well, I guess I'm just kind of like a very special case because I would buy it on PC, so I could play it on PC.
That makes a lot of
I
sense.
don't want
I
to
am curious.
restart it.
Does it exist now?
Doubt it.
No, it doesn't.
100%.
Yeah, because that would be nice actually.
Yeah.
But still, we're missing the original point. Is it's just like those other countries that weren't able to have PSN. That tells you right there they didn't even think about that
No.
at all. That they were planning on putting this in there until now.
Yeah.
How is
Fucking
Japan
ridiculous.
not able to?
I don't fucking know.
I
They
thought
even
play-
think
So
Sony,
apparently,
the
so the
Sony network there.
So apparently it's a different. It is there, but it's a different localization model or something like that. So it's a different version of the game, but it does actually exist.
It's called NSP instead of P.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a weird scenario we're sitting in right now, and I think I'm curious to know what will happen with Sony going forward. Like, will they attempt this again?
I mean, they're not standing up for the player.
Yeah,
Nope.
That's what it comes down to.
Yep.
Like, players are standing up for players. Like, we want people in here playing with us. Like, how hard is that?
But at least you can see the impact that we can have if we all do come together. And just like Helldivers is to begin with, how the game is played is that we all come together to accomplish something.
Yeah.
And I think as players, we won this route, but we need to fight for these other countries. Hopefully, it's just taking a while for them to bring it back, since it was all of a
just
sudden happened.
happened, yeah.
It just happened. So maybe by next week, maybe by the time this podcast comes out, something will change and these other countries can jump back into Helldivers and fight for democracy.
Purchase it again.
Yeah.
my favorite review that was updated to positive was, this game is so good that we even had a campaign mission in real life for the love of liberty.
For the love of liberty. I love it.
I mean, it's not over yet, guys. So stay tuned. I mean, get ready for anything.
But I mean, I don't see them doing anything anytime soon, especially because of the backlash. Because I love this community. I hate this community, but I love this community. Just because how we all came together and fought this.
I've always said it, like, video game industry is like the last true free market because we vote with our dollar. We vote with reviews. We can go in there and change them.
Yep.
We can change them back for positive, negative, negative to positive. We can make things happen because without us, without our money, there is no video game industry.
There you go.
So that's why you always got to stand up, fight back, vote with your wallet.
Yep.
Yep. I'm going to cancel my Fortnite Cruise subscription tomorrow.
Fuck yeah.
Forget
Put it
that
on
game.
Helldivers.
I already did that.
It's dead to me. I'm
dead
done
to
with
you?
it. Never going to play it again. Moving on. Other things.
We need
What
to
did they
play
do to you?
again.
I'm ready.
Nothing.
I'm always ready.
Yeah.
I just
I'm
don't
always
like
I'm so
it.
hooked on Helldivers.
I
I know. It's just not. There's no reason to go back to Fortnite, man.
There is
It's
a
just,
reason. There is a reason.
I'm trying to beat this.
I want to go to finals
Godzilla's about to
instead.
show up.
Is it really?
That's the rumor.
I heard Star Wars is coming back.
Star Wars
It's
is
already
already
out.
back.
Oh,
dude.
okay, never
Fucking
mind.
catch up.
See, I don't know.
Podcast, you
Too
should
much
know it
shit
all,
to
dude.
keep up with that
Stop
game,
playing
man.
Hades and Mandalorians and
playing
get
Citizen something ship, and I got to read all this stuff.
Hey,
It's
that
amazing.
game's got a lot of views. Okay?
Starship.
People like that review, all right?
I saw the
Yeah.
negative downvotes.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
So, what's next? What do you think's gonna happen after this?
Oh, after this, I think Sony's going to give it some time, and I think they're going to try to get their way. I really think that's what's going to happen.
Maybe they're gonna have a new thing where it's like, hey, we're gonna add this as an optional upgrade, optional addition. If you do it, then we'll, there'll
There
be
you
an
go.
incentive there.
You need an incentive. Like, give incentive. That's what
Yeah.
you should do. Hey, here's a cool, like, custom suit.
I don't want no
whatever.
freaking skin for that shit. No, don't do that to me. Give me a
Bitch,
permanent
you're
up.
playing
You already
on
have it.
PS5 already. You're on
I
the
know.
network.
Oh, well, yeah, but I'm talking about for PC player. I'm speaking for the PC,
I'm
my
just
master
saying.
race.
And I'm
Okay.
speaking for like those other countries that don't have it.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing that
That
they
is a
should
big
focus
thing.
in on. If they want this to work, they need to have PSN in those other countries.
That's true. They just need to do that. Yeah.
don't know
wonder.
why.
That
I
will
am.
solve everything.
I bet there's some kind of, like, tariff or something they have to pay to be in those countries or something.
Maybe, but that's on them.
It is on them.
You know,
It is on them.
I call horse shit on them trying to do it like, oh yeah, now we're gonna do it. We were planning on doing it the whole time. No, that's fucking horse shit. You know you weren't planning on doing it the whole time.
I mean, can you just, like, have them sign up for the newsletter or whatever so they get...
For the
Like, that's way
newsletter.
easier, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I guess. I don't know. I think Sony needs to just take a step back, earn what little money they can from this game, and just let it
not
ride.
gonna. They're gonna.
I know they're not, but
They're gonna be
fuck,
silent,
dude.
and then they're gonna come at you.
But good on the devs and stuff like that, and the Arrowhead for trying to fight back as much as possible.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up actually,
Yeah.
because so the community manager apparently, so when the game was going through this, all this stuff was happening, he put out a post on Discord. He was like, "Hey, I do encourage you to leave negative reviews because this is the only way they're going to listen."
Yep.
And apparently he got laid off,
Yes, he
unfortunately,
did.
which was sad.
A lot of the
Laid off or fired.
Or fired. Yeah.
a lot of the team got they jumped off of social media because they were trying to help out.
Yeah,
in a way, and they got fired.
They got reprimanded and stuff. Yeah.
reprimanded and all that jazz. So, but good on them.
Yeah.
I
it
mean,
sucks
when
they
there's
lost
a
job,
war-
but yeah.
People get injured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't want it, but
Where these
is
freaking
what it
flies
is.
came from?
It's the one. It's a single fly. The
No,
whole
there's-
pot-
No, there's two of them in
there's
here.
fucking one.
No, there's
it's
two.
just one.
No, there's another one over there.
Well, there's
somewhere.
one that
There's
keep.
another one.
See?
There's four.
Told
There's
you.
two. There's
four
two.
in
Hey,
here.
you son of a bitch.
You
see
need a
four.
cat.
Yeah.
I know. No, I'm allergic.
Get a hairless cat.
I don't want
There you
that.
Yeah, dude. They'll get it.
No.
It fits with you.
Or get a dog.
It's your brand.
Bluebell ate a fly this morning. Maddie was
Yeah,
chasing.
yeah.
Blue got it. And I was like,
Anyway.
Yeah.
sorry.
Anyway, that's the Sony situation that's been going on. We'll see. I mean, if we can, if they can regain everybody's trust in the future, kind of see where things land. But for now, the community won. The community got what they wanted, and hopefully this doesn't come back to resurface in the future.
Bittersweet victory.
Bittersweet victory.
It's not
indeed,
over yet,
yes.
y'all.
Battle's
If we know
over,
from
war's
this
still
game, the campaign.
I mean,
doesn't
remember
end.
we almost got the automatons like completely eradicated, and they showed up in full force after that. So it could happen with Sony too.
And that's the only reason why
Yes.
we didn't complete the last major order is because all this shit was happening and people stopped playing.
That's true. That's another thing. Yeah, because it was noticeably lower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
it dropped. It was massive.
yeah. So now player counts are back up, and see what happens.